Welcome to Wonderwave. Today we're diving into one of the most infamous chapters of American history, the Salem Witch Trials. Were these trials a necessary pursuit of justice, or were they a tragic example of mass hysteria spiraling out of control? Join us as we unravel the events that led to this dark period and explore the lasting impact of these trials. Setting the stage, the world of 1692, Salem. To understand the Salem Witch Trials, we first need to step back into the world of 1692 Salem, Massachusetts. A small Puritan community, Salem was deeply religious, living in a world where the supernatural was very much a part of everyday life. The belief in witches and the devil was widespread, and the fear of the unknown loomed large over this tight-knit society. Life in Salem was far from easy. The town was plagued by a harsh winter, food shortages, and the threat of attacks from neighboring Native American tribes. Tensions were high, and in such a stressed environment, the seeds of fear and suspicion were easily sown. The spark, the mysterious illnesses. The spark that ignited the Salem Witch Trials came in January 1692, when two young girls, Betty Paris and Abigail Williams, began exhibiting strange behavior. They screamed, contorted their bodies in unnatural ways, and hurled objects across the room. Soon, other girls in the village began to show similar symptoms. With no clear medical explanation, the Puritan community quickly turned to the supernatural. It was believed that these girls were under the influence of witchcraft. The hunt for those responsible had begun. The accusations begin. A community in turmoil. The first three women accused of witchcraft were Tituba, a slave from the Caribbean, Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, an elderly woman who had not attended church in some time. These women were outsiders in Salem society, making them easy targets. Under pressure, Tituba confessed to practicing witchcraft and claimed that there were other witches in the community. This confession sent shockwaves through Salem, and soon, more accusations followed. The fear of witches spread like wildfire, and neighbor turned against neighbor. The trials quickly spiraled out of control, with more than 200 people accused of witchcraft. The court relied heavily on spectral evidence, a controversial and now discredited form of evidence where the afflicted claimed to see the spirit or specter of the person tormenting them. The Salem witch trials were marked by a frenzied atmosphere where reason and justice seemed to have been abandoned. The court, led by Judge Samuel Sewell and Judge William Stoughton, conducted the trials with a heavy bias towards the prosecution. The accused had little chance to defend themselves, and many were convicted on the flimsiest of evidence. 19 people were hanged, and one man, Giles Corey, was pressed to death with heavy stones for refusing to enter a plea. The majority of those executed were women, though men were also accused and convicted. The atmosphere of fear and suspicion grew so intense that even those who initially supported the trials began to doubt their righteousness. The use of spectral evidence was particularly contentious, as it allowed for accusations based on invisible forces that could not be seen or verified. By the end of 1692, the fervor of the Salem witch trials began to wane. Prominent ministers, including Increase Mather, began to speak out against the trials and the use of spectral evidence. Public opinion shifted, and the court was eventually dissolved. In the aftermath, many of those involved in the trials expressed regret. Judge Samuel Sewell publicly apologized for his role in the trials, and the colony of Massachusetts later declared a day of fasting and soul-searching for the tragedy. The Salem witch trials left a lasting scar on the community and became a symbol of the dangers of mass hysteria and the miscarriage of justice. The events of 1692 serve as a cautionary tale about the power of fear and the importance of due process. Analysis: mass hysteria or justice? So, were the Salem witch trials a case of mass hysteria, or were they an attempt at justice? The answer is complex. On one hand, the trials were undoubtedly fueled by mass hysteria. The fear of witchcraft combined with the existing tensions in Salem created a perfect storm where accusations could easily spiral out of control. The reliance on spectral evidence and the swift condemnation of the accused without proper defense suggest a breakdown in rational thought. On the other hand, those involved in the trials believed they were pursuing justice. In their minds, they were protecting their community from a genuine threat. The Puritan belief system was deeply intertwined with the idea that the devil was an active force in the world, and they saw the trials as a necessary defense against evil. However, with the benefit of hindsight, it's clear that the Salem Witch Trials were a tragic miscarriage of justice. The evidence used was unreliable. The trials were conducted in an atmosphere of fear, and innocent people lost their lives as a result. The legacy lessons learned. The Salem Witch Trials have left a profound legacy in American history. They are a stark reminder of the dangers of extremism, the importance of fair trials, and the need for reasoned, evidence-based justice. The events of 1692 continue to be studied and remembered as a warning of what can happen when fear overtakes reason. Today, Salem is a symbol not only of the trials, but also of the broader themes of justice, fear, and the human capacity for both good and evil. The trials have been immortalized in literature, film, and popular culture, ensuring that the lessons of Salem are never forgotten. Conclusion. The Salem Witch Trials remain one of the most harrowing episodes in American history. While we may never fully understand the motivations behind the events, we can learn from them. As we look back on Salem, let us remember the importance of justice, reason, and empathy in the face of fear. Thank you for watching Wonder Wave. If you enjoyed this exploration of the Salem Witch Trials, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating events.